What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, for the last time, I'm going to be showing you all those lovely cards that have been revealed from the English version of Premium Booster 01. Of course, let's face it, the starter decks are out at the end of the week. And they are the starter decks that each have a pack of Premium Booster 01. And I know that actually there are people out there that have already got these starter decks. I'm not jealous, but I'm incredibly jealous. So, yeah, that we've actually reached the end of the reveal cycle for Premium Booster 01. But there are a bunch of cards that have been shown off in English that I haven't had the chance to show you yet. And frankly, I want to show you. And I want to talk about them. So that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. I've told you all that I'm incredibly excited about Premium Booster 01. And I would like to chat about all of this, frankly. And we're going to. But I need to start off with something that I did actually briefly mention in a pinned comment on yesterday's video. But I think we need to talk about it again. The possibility of God packs. Now, I've been pretty bullish about the fact that I don't think we're getting God packs. And I've explained it in way more detail in previous videos. Go check them out. But my general thinking here was we don't get God packs. And I'm not just talking about One Piece. Obviously, in One Piece, Japan gets God packs of all the leaders, and we get treasure rares, which I know that we aren't getting a treasure rare in here, and that might mean we're getting a God pack, but I'm not necessarily buying it. But also in Pokemon. Pokemon gets God packs, and we don't get them. So, I'm not saying we're not getting a God pack, because I don't have that information one way or the other. But I am telling you, or at least I have been telling you up to now, that I think it's unlikely that we would get a God pack. But here's where it gets interesting. Because there is a German streamer who has apparently, allegedly, so they tell us, pulled a God pack. And I will be perfectly honest with you, it does look legit. It does look like a God pack. It's the new versions with the, different writing on some of them and different, stars and all of that. Again, I did a whole video about it yesterday. Go and check out that video where I explain how to tell all the mangas apart, the old ones and the new ones. I go into quite a bit of detail. So it looks like the reprinted mangas. And they're all in English and it looks legit. But the pack is actually brought from off-screen, already opened. Which, as we know by now, is a bit of a red flag. So I'm not saying it's not legit. I'm not saying it's not real. I am saying that it seems to be convincing and that there is some evidence that they have actually gone and pulled a God pack. I am also telling you that this is not irrefutable evidence and it is not confirmed or guaranteed or anything like that. There is now a decent chance we will be getting God packs, but I figured it was worth addressing because I know a lot of people are talking about it and I've been asked about it by a bunch of people as well. This gives us more hope for God packs. It looks legit, but especially the fact that it was brought from off-camera already opened means we need to view it with a skeptical eye. It may or may not be real, but there is at least a chance. And this is the last thing I'm going to say about PRB-01 God packs until they're officially confirmed or officially confirmed to not be there. But what about the new cards that have gone and been revealed? Well, there are a bunch. So let's start off with your Don Quixote Doflamingo Don card. And here's the thing that's really cool about this. Those new starter decks? Well, starter deck 17 is the blue one. And it's a Don Quixote Doflamingo one. And it's very good. And it actually, there's 5 new cards in it, all of which see play in Don Quixote Doflamingo. An OP-01 Doflamingo is actually now going to be like a legit deck. It is fully back in the OP-09 meta. So I'm just telling you that this is a Don a lot more people are going to want for that reason. As for the Queen Don, maybe less so, honestly. Just putting that out there. I'm not saying it's not cool, but I am saying that, that the Queen Leader is, I mean, every so often I see somebody topping with it, and I'm like, yay! And I did pull the alternate art of the Queen Leader from one of my boxes of OP04, and I was delighted, because anytime you pull an alt art leader, it's always good, right? But I'm also saying that I don't think it's a terribly good leader, and I don't think it's going to end up being all that great, and I'm sorry. Feel free, as always, to argue with me in the comment section. But we've also got the Trafalgar Law from Starter Deck 10, and this is cool because, of course, Starter Deck 10 didn't give us an alternate art. This is our alternate art, and it's got blocker, and on play, Don -1. If your opponent's got 7 or more cards in hand, you trash 2 cards from your opponent's hand. So that's honestly pretty cool. It's a good card, it's seen a bunch of play, and it's an alternate art of a card that we don't expect to have an alternate art for. So that's kind of awesome. Speaking of awesome stuff, the Reiju Don, which the more I see this, the more I really, really like it. And we know we're getting more Germa cards, like in OP10. So I'm not saying that Vinsmoke Reiju is about to become like a top-tier deck or any of that. But I am telling you there's a chance. And as always, the better the leader is that's associated with the Don, the more sought after, valuable, phrase it how you will, that Don will be. Speaking of Germa cards, we do actually have the OP06 Vinsmoke Reiju, the 4-cost. On play, if the number of Don cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of your opponent's field, and you got 5 or fewer cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. This seems like a good time to remind you once again, grammatically it is supposed to be if you have 5 or fewer cards in your hand, not 5 or less. It's grammatically incorrect. They've been doing it since the start of the game, and I know it doesn't really matter, but it irks me every time I see it. It really does need to be 5 or fewer cards in your hand. That's how the English language works. I really hope one day they change it. And then errata every single card. One card I do like is Kingdom of Germa, and I will say the photograph they've gone and put on socials really shows off the foiling of this beautifully. Also, that little one-piece stamp they put on some of the cards it can be a real pain to see, shown off really nicely on this picture. But this is a stage, the activate main, trash a card from your hand, rest this stage, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, find a Germa card and add it to your hand. It is a stage that boosts consistency, and we're still weirdly in a situation with One Piece where we have very, very little stage removal. So the fact that we're getting a really, we get these stages, they tend to stay around for the whole game, because stage removal really isn't just a thing. Now, the big Don is going to be the Luffy one. Okay, fine, the Zoro one I showed you the other day. But Zoro and Luffy Don are going to be like 2 of the biggest Don. They are a big deal, frankly. They are very good. They are very popular. And look, firstly, Luffy's cool. But secondly, I mean, look, right now, Red Yellow Luffy might be the best deck in the format. I say might be the best deck in the format. We've literally got like a mountain of evidence from LimitlessTCG.com, and I can tell you right now that the best deck in the format, as we stand, by a bit of a margin, the OP08 meta in the West, is Black Yellow Luffy from Starter Deck 13. No ifs, buts, or maybes. That is actually, like, consistently provable by data the best deck in the format. In the past, the OP05 Luffy has proven to be a very, very good deck, and they're not the only 2. Luffy won 2 of the 4 Continentals last season, so I'm just telling you that we've had good Luffy in the past, we have good Luffy now. Oh, and by the way, we're blatantly going to get 1 billion more Luffy leaders between now and the end of the card game. Frankly, I hope the card game outlives me, but in the good way. So there's going to be plenty more chance to use this in the future. The Enel Don is cool, but Enel has dropped off almost completely in terms of being like a viable deck. No one's really playing Enel anymore. I'm sorry. Reading the manga, I've just got to the Sky Island arc. Well, I haven't actually met Enel yet in my rereading of the manga, but we're going to get Enel soon. I'm sorry. I know lots of people like Enel, but it's like the 12th best deck at the moment with less than 1% of the meta. Calgara is the best yellow deck, and that's not even a great deck. But if you're looking for, there's a bunch of dual type decks, but if you're looking at mono yellow decks right now, Calgara is actually the best yellow deck. So make of that what you will. Also, as it happens, bit of the old Sky Island. We've also gone and seen the reveal of the Ace Don. And again, Ace doesn't really have a good leader right now, but it's still nice that we're getting this. We've seen the Edward Newgate Don. And again, I like Newgate, but that deck's done. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean. But nowadays, it's quite clear. If we're playing red, we're playing Zorro. Zorro is the better red deck. I like Newgate. I think Newgate's cool. Blatantly one of the coolest characters in One Piece. But right now, Zorro is the best mono red deck, and I'm afraid it's not close. Feel free to be upset about that. And then the last Don they've gone and shown us is, of course, the Big Mum Don, which is very cool Don, but again, Big Mum is just not we've had a couple of different leaders, but Big Mum is just not a deck right now, at least not a viable deck. So there we go. They're the cards. That's what we've been shown. That is the end of the reveals for Premium Booster 01, and now we can all sit and wait for Friday when those starter decks are being released, and we all get to get our hands on Premium Booster 01. And seriously, the decks are cool. But then also going, hey, if you buy these decks nice and early, you get to go and get the Premium Booster 01. I mean, that's just great, right? I think it's great. But now it's over to you guys. Which of the special Don are you most looking forward to from Premium Booster 01? What are you looking forward to from the set? Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Get us! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.